Welcome to the product information in the XCAPI video series. In this video, we introduce you to the new features and capabilities of the new XCAPI release 3.5. You will find the new XCAPI release in the download area in our community. You will have access to our community after free registration. If you already have a password for the community, this is still valid. Please note that your license needs a valid software upgrade service. You will get further details in our appropriate video. With V34 standard in T38 protocol, you will get a major gain of speed in fax transmission. The transmission time can be more than halved, and consequently your connection costs will be reduced. Furthermore, you are able to use the maximum transmission rate of 33,600 bits per second. In addition, V34 standard is particularly suitable for an accelerated connection setup by collaboration of different fast systems. Facilities of eliminating the effects of line disturbances and the automatic optimal adjustment of the transmission level guarantee a high increase of connection security and stable transmission. This graphic makes clear the speed benefit of V34 standard compared with the transmission of V17 during laboratory conditions. The handshaking includes the negotiation of the parameters for the transmission of data between transmitter and receiver. While the handshaking with V17 is measured with 16 seconds, the use of V34 achieves the speed gain of 7 seconds. The subsequent transmission of the facsimile page in the use of V34 requires only half the time. More and more gateways support the gain of speed with the T38 protocol. The interoperability list will be successfully adapted to this feature. Gateways which have been already tested are now marked accordingly in the column V34. For example, Cisco and Dialogic gateways are already successfully tested. If you use the T38 protocol, you can already try with XCAPI demo version whether the transfer of V34 works or not. Simply send a fax with our current XCAPI test tool. There you can check the respective information for transmission speed immediately. The new fax fallback from T38 to G711 fax pass-through will allow automatic switching in G711 fax pass-through mode if a fax switching on a zip endpoint is not possible due to a lack of T38 support. This graph shows the fax fallback within the zip communication. Here you can see the example of a gateway that does not support T38 generally or because of utilization. The XCAPI line monitor shows this behavior in detail. So configuration errors or lack of resources can be analyzed and corrected retrospectively without receiving error by sending a fax. A detailed description of the possibilities of the line monitor you can find on page 5 in the XCAPI 3.4 product information in our community. In addition to the standard resolutions, XCAPI now supports the transmission of faxes with a resolution up to 1200 by 1200 dots per inch. Take the advantage of a better readability through the use of a higher resolution. The significant difference in quality of an outstanding legible facsimile transmission with 1200 dots per inch and a limited readable fax transmission with only 200 dots per inch is shown in the figure. Now, with the new XCAPI 3.5, you have the option to choose between 10 different fax resolutions and thus affect the quality of transmission. Please note that your CAPI application must support the use of high-resolution fax transmission. A successful configuration becomes even easier with the XCAPI 3.5. New controller-specific settings for all fax-related topics, including the support of V34, have been implemented in the XCAPI configuration. The setting of the desired fax protocol is clearly summarized on one side in the expert view, and you have to make settings for them only at this point. Now it is possible to select whether XCAPI fax messages are transmitted via T38 signaling or via G711 fax pass-through. In addition to a streamlined user interface, we have further expanded the compatibility with existing PBX systems and SIP providers. In total, we can offer you 11 new PBX systems and 6 new SIP providers after extensive tests in our laboratory of TE systems. The controller with it will help you as usual to set up the corresponding vendor-specific settings and will take care of the major configurations in a few steps. The complete list of compatible PBX systems and SIP providers are available in our community. The XCAPI Line Monitor provides a quick overview of the installation and configuration as well as a registration of all calls so that you can identify and make potential system optimization and improvements by yourself. The functions of the call history have been equipped with a new filter function and thus individual selection options. The call history shows the details of existing voice and fax calls, including source numbers, destination numbers, and when calls didn't work. The new filter function ensures a better overview and simplify individual selections without looking through a veritable flood of data. For example, with the filter function, you can select fax calls that have packet losses. The connection data can be used to determine whether the packet losses occur at certain times and thus meet with other network and system events, or the packet losses occur independent of time. Furthermore, you have also the possibility to assess the development of the connection speeds of fax transmissions and to observe the successful implementation of V34. By default, you can use the following filter functions: all calls of the last week, all failed calls for any reason, all failed calls during the current month. In addition, you can create custom filters that include certain connection results, phone numbers, or date, including time specifications. The display of calls with fax fallback in the call list and the active calls offers additional convenience and even more clarity. The XCAPI test tool is automatically available on every XCAPI installation. This allows you to check the suitability of your provider or your telephone system without having to install a full application, which can be time-consuming. The test tool has been revised in some areas and further developed in order to make a detailed test even easier. Now you can send faxes with speeds up to 33,600 bits per second, and you are able to test the efficiency of your VoIP environment. The setting automatic always uses the highest transmission rate. The error correction mode can optionally be enabled or disabled when sending a fax. Important: ECM cannot be turned off when using V34. If ECM is disabled, V34 will be automatically deactivated and you will be only able to send faxes with speeds up to 14,400 bits per second. The XCAPI Trace Analyzer offers you the possibility of watching recorded trace files and detecting malfunction. We have still made some further optimizations. You will save valuable time by an improved overview. Additionally, you will be able to analyze the possibility of malfunction. The Trace Analyzer is part of the XCAPI installation and shows clearly recorded trace files without the support of other tools, for example Wireshark. The start of the default view is set automatically to voice, fax and communication messages and is opened with a zip tree. Here you have the possibility to get a quick overview of the zip communication. In addition, you get even more information by detailed presentation of the CAPI messages. The XCAPI supports, besides the Simple Network Management Protocol (SNMP), now also the Windows Management Instrumentation (WMI). The Windows Management Instrumentation provides more security on the basis of encrypted passwords and the integration with Microsoft System Center World. The Windows Management Instrumentation is used to read and write information and to trigger events. So, the administrators receive the possibility to use monitoring tools such as the open source program Nagios in order to use the Windows Management Instrumentation interface for the permanent monitoring of the XCAPI. Just for contact center, graphical evaluation of the monitoring tools are particularly useful to observe the capacity, utilization and to plan further capacity. But in all other areas of application, monitoring is useful to control registered controllers, valid licenses and a functioning network, because in cases of adverse events, a message via email or SMS is immediately sent to the administrator and ensure rapid intervention. These data can be easily read and analyzed, also on VB scripts and on the Microsoft PowerShell. And of course, examples of this are immediately supplied. For more information, see the tech notes about SNMP and WMI. You have experienced the advantages of the new release XCAPI 3.5 in this video. Convince yourself now personally and extend your software upgrade service and install your new XCAPI. By the way, the new release can be installed over the old installation. All settings and configurations remain untouched.